All right, let's talk about something that stresses out pretty much everyone who's ever looked for a job, your resume. Specifically, how long should it be? It seems like such a simple question, but trust me, the answer is anything but.
So here it is, the big question. 1 page or 2? This is the great resume debate, right? For years, the advice has been pretty clear. But now, things are starting to change. We're going to dive into a really fascinating online discussion where professionals, recruiters, you name it, all battled it out to find the answer.
Okay, so first, let's tackle the classic rule. You know, the one it's been drilled into our heads for, well, forever. The 1-page resume. The whole argument here is about being short, sweet, and to the point. Make that powerful first impression and make it fast.
And this quote from a Reddit user named Pudrin, wow, it just sums up this whole camp's belief perfectly. To them, it's not a suggestion, it's an absolute. The idea is, if it's really important, you should be able to fit it on one single, perfectly polished page. Efficiency is everything.
And then you see comments like this one, which add another layer to it. The point here is that your resume is more than just a list of your old jobs. It's a test. Can you communicate clearly? Can you figure out what's important and cut the fluff? If not, that's kind of like a red flag right there.
So, you get the idea, right? For the one-pager fans, it's all about showing you're a good communicator who respects the hiring manager's time. It forces you to be ruthless and only include the absolute best stuff. And for a long, long time, this was just the standard, especially if you had less than, say, 10 years of experience. Okay, but here's where it all gets turned on its head. A growing number of people are pushing back, hard. They're arguing that this old rule isn't just outdated, it might actually be costing them job opportunities. I mean, you really can't argue with results, can you? This comment is so powerful because it's not theory, it's real life. This person tried the 1-page thing, didn't work. They broke the rule, went to 2 pages, and suddenly the interviews started rolling in. For them, it was a total game changer. And hey, this might not just be a one-off thing. Another user chimes in, saying that some studies actually back this up. The idea is that maybe, just maybe, recruiters see a 2-page resume and subconsciously think, more experience, even if the content is exactly the same. Kind of interesting, right? So what's the deal? We've got the old school thinkers on one side and the new school rule breakers on the other. But what do the people who actually make the hiring decisions think? Let's hear from someone on the inside. The whole conversation was going back and forth, getting pretty heated, and then someone identifying as a recruiter drops into the chat and just changes the entire game. And boom, this recruiter, Ponyboy1911, does not hold back. They call the 1-page rule nonsense. Their whole argument is that we're in a digital age. Your resume isn't getting printed out and passed around most of the time. It's getting scanned by a computer, an applicant tracking system, or ATS. And for that system, more detail and more relevant keywords are way better. A clear, well-written 2-pager is actually easier for them. And that right there, that's the key. It makes you wonder, have we been asking the completely wrong question this whole time? The debate might not really be about the number of pages at all. So look at this. It's about changing how we think about the problem. The old question was, how long should it be? But the better question is it relevant and readable? Instead of asking, should I cut this to fit on 1 page, we should be asking, does this information actually add value? It's a huge shift from a rigid rule to a smart strategy. So, when you boil it all down from this whole discussion, here's what actually seems to matter. Is it relevant to the specific job you're applying for? Is it clean and easy to read? Does it have the keywords that'll get it past the computer scanners? And this is a big one. Are you showing your achievements with actual numbers, not just listing your duties? If you nail all that, the page count suddenly seems a lot less important. Okay, so if the 1-page rule is out the window, what do we do instead? Well, one user came up with a genuinely brilliant strategy that kind of solves the whole debate. This user, LilRebel17, had this fantastic idea. What if you have a 2-page resume, but you structure it so that each page basically works as its own standalone 1-pager? It's designed for 2 different readers. Okay, so let's break this down. Page 1, that's your me page. Think of it as your highlight reel, your biggest achievements, your top skills, a quick summary. It's built for that first person who's just giving it a 15-second scan. Then you've got page 2, the history page. This is the deep dive. All your work history, the nitty-gritty details. This is for the hiring manager who's truly interested and wants the proof. It's honestly the best of both worlds. So, what's the final verdict? Well, there isn't one magic answer. The 1-page rule isn't totally dead, but it's definitely not the law of the land anymore.
The real game changer is to stop obsessing over the page count and start focusing on the story you're telling. Your resume is your professional story, so the only question that really matters is this: how many pages do you need to tell that story well?